Guys, I apologize for not having the call last night. I had a funny feeling that there was going to be a lot of, we've been having a great amount of people on the call, 25, 30, we had 35 last week. And I had a funny feeling that we might have a little less numbers tonight just because of changing. And look, it was out of our control. I was in Las Vegas and just was not going to be able to do it. And neither was Lisa. And I am not going to do something without bringing impact to you guys. And I'm going to have these calls if there's 5 or 6 people. I say it all the time. And I believe that if you pay attention closely tonight, you're going to see some massive transition in your business and things that you do. I want to encourage you that to make the Building Depth event in June a priority for yourself. Obviously, I want you guys to make the convention and regional a priority, but please do me a favor. Make the June event in St. George a priority. They get better and better. And this one was really life-changing. And I'm going to share my presentation with you guys because I need to record it for a lot of people because people wanted it. I'm going to go over it tonight, but a little bit slower. I was rushed for some time. I had close to 100 emails of the 500 people that were there that wanted my slides, and they wanted to, me to record it again so they could have it. But here's what I learned. And if you're taking notes and you're able to write some things down tonight, I believe what I'm about to tell you will excel your business. I'm home for 2 weeks and I'm going to do at least 15 to 20 presentations a week. And I think that if you really put what I'm about to show you into action, I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to actually have Destiny share after that, her experience at Building Depth. And then I'm going to share with you guys, as I said, my presentation, but I'm going to share with you right now before I bring on Destiny and do the presentation, just some things that I believe is the reason why none of us are being successful, including me. Okay. And you can say, hey, Mike, you've been successful. You've done great with this. You're a great teacher. You're this. But to me, I did a self-examination of myself this week, and I found out that the reason why we're not doing it, and on top of my business that we did, that I did when I was up in Atlanta with Carla and Wendy and a whole bunch of other people, like customers were coming to the meetings and upgrading to distributors. Why? Because most of what we talk about in this business is the product. Now, look, there's nothing wrong with that. I've signed up close to 400 customers now. Hey, Q. I've signed up close to over 200, close to 400 customers now in the 9 years that I've been involved. But let me explain something to you. What I learned this weekend is that we are not resolving people's concerns. So when someone says they're not interested or MLM is for them, we are not going into anything after that. We're just letting it go and we're moving on. And you guys, you cannot do that. I'm telling you guys that most of all, I'm starting over. I told Lisa that, and you guys are going to see this and you'll know that I'm going to do it. My goal is to enroll 40 to 50 people between now and the end of the year. And I'm telling you, I have more leads than I know what to do this. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying this to encourage you guys that if you are intentional about what you do, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to talk about this at the end of my presentation that I'm going to do. But before that, I'm going to let Destiny talk. But I want you guys to understand, you have to start resolving people's concerns and you have to start asking them questions. Those questions, one of those big questions is asking them to join. You know, Sherry said it great. She said, gosh, imagine if more people asked people to do the business, how many more people would do the business, right? And so that piece of wanting people to just take the products is why when people come to a presentation, they upgrade. It's why 60% of customers upgrade to distributors because they didn't even know there was a business. Guys, there was 500 people at Building Depth, 500. we all got to hear from 25 elites, 12 of them or 13 on Friday and 12 of them on Saturday. It was phenomenal. By far one of the top, if not the top events that I've ever been part of with LifeVantage. I'm trying to see, somebody's not muted, but I'll get that. So, and so what I'm going to talk about tonight during my presentation at the end is teaching you guys how to do this business the right way. And I'm guilty. I'm just going to say, like, I've done a lot of it wrong. And I'm going to be honest with you about this. A lot of the people in this business are doing it wrong. And now I get to learn from the top earners in the company. There's no greater people to learn from than Blue Elam and Marcel Niederhauser. They've been doing it for 20 years. They have, Tyler and Marcel have close to $15 million a month in revenue in their organization. Okay. They by far are two of the greatest humans that walk the face of this earth. Okay. It's why our numbers went from 50 to 100 to 200 to 300 and now 500 people at this last event. Okay. Why? Because you get to hear a precise, consistent message that, for me, man, I listened and took notes on every single speaker this weekend. Why? Because I know that now I'm going to get back to the things that got me where I am, and I'm going to start over. And I'm hoping that the people that are on here today will go in June, and you'll start taking action on your business. And I'm just going to tell you this. If you don't have a paper calendar, it will be hard for you to do this business. And Marcel said to me, he said, Mike, we just put things in a calendar and we just went after it. And even when we were working a job, we just went after it. So I'm just telling you, a lot of you are working a job, but you're not intentional about who you're sharing with. And you're not asking the people to join. You know, it's great. Sherry said this. She said, Michael, I always ask them, do you see the business? Do you see the product? Or do you see both? Every single presentation, bar none. And guys, we used in Atlanta were tariff sheets. And as I said, there was a meeting at Carla's house. There was 2 guests, 2 of Carla's customers. Both of them one of them added the rest of the products, and both of them wanted to be distributors. So I'm just telling you guys, this is how duplication goes. I say this all the time, and I don't say it to be a broken record, but I want you guys to know why our volume cut down $70,000. Because people didn't treat it like a business. People didn't allow themselves to see themselves as being successful, which is what I'm going to talk about tonight. Guys, I had lines and lines of people waiting, and I didn't really, my slides didn't come up at the beginning, and I usually handle it pretty good, and everybody said I did, but you know, sometimes your worst critic can be yourself. Hi, Julia. Welcome back. Good to see you. I like your hair, by the way, just a side note. But Julia has been in her country for 2 weeks and she just got back. And so it's really good to see her. If you guys don't know who Julia is, that's my wife's best friend and one of my best friends too. So let me just talk to you guys about this real quick. So Destiny, can you unmute yourself? Is your camera on? I'm hoping I can't see you if you are. Oh yeah, there you are. Oh yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I can't hear you. Am I not able to hear you? That's weird. Can everybody else hear you? Talk. I can't hear you for some reason. Julia, can you guys hear Destiny? No? Oh, shoot. Nobody can hear.
Can't hear her, Michael.
Destiny, can we hear you? Oh, yeah, there. I just heard you just now, but I don't know what happened.
I hear it faintly.
Yeah, faintly.
Maybe I'll be closer. Hello?
Oh, Lord. Nice hat. Destiny, why don't you go out and come back in and see if I can hear you better?
She has a bad connection, Michael.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking go out and come back in, and then I'll bring you on. So let me just give you
You're a rock star, bro.
Let me give you the preface of what happened for me this weekend. So we met. I had the privilege of rooming with Bert Du Bois this weekend. And him and I have had the very same situation in our organizations. We call it the Change of the Month Club, right? Share this video. No, share this video. No, share this presentation. No, do this, do this. And what we learned this weekend is that, guys, none of you on this call are any different than Rob and Summer, than Marcel. Guys, we're having massive rank advancements from people in building depth. And you want to know why? Because they're consistently doing the principles and behaviors of 15 presentations a month, which if you map it out, we all came up with this in leadership. It's 30 minutes every other day. 30 minutes every other day, guys. Okay? Destiny, let me see if I can hear you now. No.
Hang on a second.
Do you have a headset?
No, hang on. Let me try this.
Weird. You sound like Minnie Mouse. It's weird. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Sounds weird. All right. You try to work that out, and then I'm going to go into my presentation here. Since I'm recording. And just message me in the chat box. Okay. All right. So.
Can you hear me now, Michael?
Oh, yes. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. Let me stop. Hold on one second. Let me get you on here. Hold on. Okay. So I don't even see you. Where'd you go?
Hang on.
I don't see you. He's here?
No, but
You see me now?
Yes. There you are. Okay. All right. So go ahead.
I'm on my phone, so it's going to be a
No,
little...
you actually sound a lot better.
Okay.
And I can hear you.
My laptop, my cat's mad at me for being gone. I think she sat on my laptop and did something crazy to it.
I can understand that. So Destiny, why don't you share a little bit? This was Destiny's first building.
Yeah. So
why don't you share a little bit about it?
I'm going to turn my camera off just so it won't be so shaky while I'm talking and looking at my notes and stuff. But, okay. So basically anybody who's not been to building depth, oh my God, you got to go. So I went with the intent, I'm going to go this one time. I'm going to get good, quality information, and then I won't have to go again because it was a pretty expensive trip for me. But I am like sold out. Like, I don't care what I have to do, sell, whatever. I will be at every single one of those until I'm on the stage doing it myself. Like, I'm not even.
Yeah. Love it.
Like, it's, so I have notes from every single person. So I'm going to try not to ramble. I'm just going to try to hit the highlights of it all. I kind of went through before we called and went through all my notes. But first thing I heard that I wrote down, Marcel said, build relationships that matter. Okay. So, and that's obviously, we're all trying to build relationships, but build relationships that matter. And that added a lot of value to what, I've been going through, because it's not necessarily the people that you have in your life or how many you have, it's the quality of those relationships. And then the other thing, so let's see, they compared LifeVantage to a car. They said the LifeVantage is like a car. So it's already stable. Like it's a stable company. It's not going anywhere. We already have that good foundation. And when you're in the car, this is our vehicle for where we're going to go. We're on the straightaways. It's fun. We're good, but the curves are scary. So the little, problems that we hit along the way, they can be kind of scary. But because we have the mentorship that we have the warnings of the people to warn us of when to downshift, when to accelerate. So that was a pretty cool analogy. And then, let's see. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to ramble. I'm so excited about this. I have to say, I'm just going to go away from my notes for a second. The most valuable thing that I heard was, and Michael posted a video. I think it's on YouTube. I don't know if it's on Facebook or not, but Ry told a story about somebody that's on a lot of our calls, and it was really touching about where he had been and where he's at now and everything. And it was really touching to me because it fell right in line with the main information that I got from everybody, which was all these elites, they were at one point where we are. And somebody said it best when they said, these elites, they don't use us exclusively. When they say us, they mean all of us. And just because they've made it to a certain point in their life, they don't even treat it as reaching down. They're still reaching out as if they're one of us, And so it was really cool to hear there's Matthew Hoffman's story, of them helping him and building him up and where he's come from. And it was really relatable, to the fact that everybody's been somewhere different, and we're all going in the same direction. It was just really inspiring to me. If y'all haven't watched that video, you just need to go watch that. All right, now let's see my notes here. All right, so the only difference between where you are and where you want to be is your mindset. Even successful business owners, they don't get cheered on or have people that cheer for them, but with LifeVantage, we do. And that's so awesome to me, that we have those mentors and we have people and teams that cheer us on and build us up and everything. If you were building any other kind of business, you're not going to have any cheerleaders. You're not going to have people telling you, oh, great job, great job. You're just, if the money comes in, you're good. If it doesn't, you're not. And so we really need our mentorship and our upline, sidelines, whatever, to help us out and bring us through and help us build. It was Melissa Brown that said, there's nobody in this company that's any better. They've just been doing it longer. Be sure to ask questions. And that was a common theme that people were saying, ask questions, because the questions are going to be your key. Those questions are going to get you where you need to be. Someone said, this was something that really hit home too. Our way or our why, which is more important? So I was one that when I started, I was like, oh, I know how to talk to people. I got this. I don't need any system. And now I'm starting to see that system works not only for LifeVantage, but the way, the behaviors and the principles of it, it applies to so many different areas of my life that I'm so guilty of not doing the right way. And so do we want it our way, or do we want to, actually help our why? We want to get what we want. So what's more important to you, being right or being rich? It doesn't just, life just doesn't happen for you. Like, as far as, you don't just wake up one day and you're in your desired life. Like, it does take work. And there's no reason why we can't get the job done, because everybody needs this product, and most everybody needs the business. One person said, had everybody raise their hands. Who in this room has ever had a checkbook or any bills to pay, and, they figured 98% of the people in there have. Okay, how many people in here have medical degrees? And it was like 5% did. Okay, so then why are we vomiting science on everybody when nobody cares about science? They care about their checkbooks. They care about, making sure they can financially take care of, themselves. And as far as our products go, they are awesome enough to sell themselves. And if you get people financially stable enough to be able to take care of themselves and buy the products, then the information about the products is just going to get out there. It's just going to. One thing I wrote down, a why gets rid of the try and makes you fly. And try equals lie. So if you're trying to do something, you're just lying to yourself. Like, you're either doing it or you're not. And let's see. As you change, your business will change. You are your rescue. No one is coming to save you. And as far as, when you have your upline, or, people who place blame on, oh, so-and-so didn't help me or whatever, like, here's the thing. It's your dream, not their dream. It's your business, not their business. Like, it's only yours to be proud of. It's only yours to be responsible for. Just own it. And everybody thought they're looking for their rock star, their person they're going to sign up and it's just going to sell them to the next level. You're not going to attract that rock star until you become that rock star yourself. And then someone put in, got why. He had this little why cards, and why. So what's hiding you? So what's keeping you from getting what you need? And when you have success adds value to yourself. If you're a person that ends up, you have significance, and that's one thing. It's like, that's a key term that I think that I've been looking for, significance. That's when you add value to others. And that's something that I think everybody ultimately wants. I don't think we really see that. We see the success part of it. But if it's significance that we're looking for, that's just a better goal. I have just a couple more things here.
No, you're good. It's good.
Okay, sorry.
Awesome. This is awesome.
Sorry. sorry. And I literally, I bought a notebook just for building depth, and I knew I was going to fill it up, and I did. I have like 4 pages left, and that'll be filled up tonight. So, um, all right. And then someone said, if you think you can't, you're right. If you think you can, you're right. And so just remember that, you know, it's all in what we tell ourselves, really. Let's see. Okay. And so Marilyn Johnson, I love listening to her. She's just so sincere and just real and everything. And she says, it doesn't matter where you came from. It matters where you're going. And this really is a good analogy. So there's a reason why we have a big windshield, but small rear view mirrors. You're supposed to focus on where you're going, not where you came from. And you should be stronger than your strongest excuse. And I know I have a lot of them. And the better person you become, the better person you attract. That goes back to the rock star. You're not going to get one till you are one. All this goes along with always doing what you say you're going to do, which I'm so guilty of not doing a lot of the time. But we have to do that, because if we can help one person, you know, we might not change the world, but we can change the world for one person. So you never know who you're going to hit. And you should also never judge people. So I've been guilty of saying, you know, well, most people that I know can't afford a loaf of bread. How are they going to afford a platinum pack? But you never know where somebody said where their heads, hearts, or their home life is, and you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You don't know what they need. And so really, you should really try to get to know people and find out what their needs are and try to meet them there. And let's see. Okay, so, and then as far as Blue and Marcel, it was so touching just to hear them talk, because, I mean, everybody, you know, we talk about them like they're these, you know, they're so up there on our pedestal, and everybody, you know, everybody just loves them and respects them. But like, I saw the real them. Like, I saw them. They're real people. They're real people who have real stories, and they really truly care. And that was just amazing to me, because it's important to understand that, like, if you have leadership that remembers where they came from, and remembers what the struggles are like, then, you know, they can lead you to so many places. And so it's encouraging to hear them, and they're still there. And y'all, Darren Jensen was there. Like, Darren Jensen showed up. Like,
Yeah.
that's a big deal, I think, right?
It's the third time he's been there. So
that's crazy. See, I didn't realize that. You know, I knew that this was a team, and, you know, and sometimes you think, well, okay, maybe this is like, you got one team, which team's better or whatever. But when Darren Jensen, the CEO of the company, shows up to your meeting, your team's doing something. Okay. Like, that's good. Yeah. That's awesome. And let's see. Okay. Oh, so as far as the big windshield, small rearview mirrors. Okay. Here's another one that's real good. We have 2 ears, 1 mouth. Talk less, listen more. And I am so guilty of not listening. I'm not listening good at all. I make excuses. I tell my boyfriend it's a woman thing. I'm sorry. He tells me stuff, and I just like, oh, okay, yeah. And I have no clue what he just said, you know. And then I started thinking about it. If I do that with him, I probably do it with so many other people.
We all do.
It's awful. Yeah. And if we would just listen more, we would hear the needs of people, and you would see where to meet them and know how to talk to them. And so Ry Fry, you know, he was talking about, of course, self-development, LV coaching, and everything. And he said, you know, more time and effort we invest in ourselves, the more change we see in the world. And something that about Matthew Hoffman's story, that really touched me was, guilt is something you did. Shame is something you wear. Self-development, LV coaching, something like that changes that. And I don't think that the people that, you know, Ry Fry, I don't think that ones that help with that self-development, those courses and everything, I don't think they realize just how much that those courses help people. And I've been on the verge of tears since I like walked in the door at Building Depth. Like, I'll probably lose it tonight on the call, but you know, that self-development stuff, it really does help. And I got stuck in it a little bit. And sometimes when you learn too much about yourself, it's kind of hard if you don't have somebody there to pull you out of it. And so, yeah, I kind of ventured away from it, but it really is something that people need, and it helps people. I think that everybody in our company, they may not see that there are people like Matthew Hoffman, people like me. I don't think everybody knows my story, but people that weren't necessarily always business-minded people. They weren't always necessarily someone that thought that they could do something great, and so when you get involved with a company like LifeVantage and programs like LV Coaching, like you start to learn that you are a completely different person with completely different goals than what you have been your entire life, and that's life changing. So,
Amen.
yep. Now, let's see. So the people we should be looking for in the, when we're looking for our business builders, we want to look for someone who has a burning desire for changing their life. So, like I said, they may not have a story like yours. They may not be business people. They may not be people with, health concerns. But if you see somebody that has a burning desire that they just want something different, if that desire is strong enough, they're going to be somebody that can help you build build your business.
Yeah.
Someone who sees what we see, wants what we want, and willing to do what we do to get it. And let's see. So, oh gosh.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's ask this. Let's see. Does anybody have a question for Destiny about her experience? Because here's what's really good about this. You ask people questions. Maybe you have a comment on what's been said. Because I've been involved in May will be 9 years I've been involved in LifeVantage, and that was one of the most impactful weekends I've ever been a part of in my entire entrepreneur journey. But just part of LifeVantage, it was just life changing. Does anybody have a comment or a question for Destiny about anything shared? Because I want to go into what I shared with you guys, because I think it'll be as powerful. It's going to sum up everything that Destiny said, and I think she would agree with me what I spoke on. If you're able to overcome the things that I'm going to share, and you implement the things that she just talked about, you should really be bulletproof, right, Destiny? Don't you think?
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I'll tell you, the only person I don't have notes on is you, Michael, because I was taking pictures.
And that's okay, because you can go back and watch it later. And you knew I was going,
yeah.
I kind of mentioned to her that I was going to redo it tonight. So,
yeah.
because a lot of you
And
guys didn't get to hear it. So,
but he did knock it out of the park. It was really good. He made me proud, y'all. Like I was like, that's my upline. I was proud. So he did good.
Julia.
Yeah. Julia, do you want to comment on that?
Yes, I want to comment a couple of things that she said. That it's funny, we were talking yesterday with you, Lisa. I'm not sure, yesterday or before yesterday. One of the main things that I have a struggle is my self-confidence. And since last year, I started to do the reading and the listening of podcasts and learning because of the business and reading the books that they were recommending. I realized that one of the main things that all of us, each person in this world, not just in this business, needs to do is to love herself, like in my case, love myself and like myself.
Amen.
That's the main point to start our self-confidence, to really see for who we are, who God created us to be.
Yes.
Not for whatever things happen in our past, in our childhood. And I have also a long history of that, what happened. You guys know a lot about it. But that has been my main thing these last months, changing my mindset regarding how I see myself. Because if I see myself as a strong woman, an overcomer, which I am an overcomer because I have overcome so many things.
Amen.
I can do whatever it comes into my life.
Amen.
It's a process, and I think I'm in that process. This year I started very well with the business, and I just went away, like you said. I just came back from Ecuador, but I'm taking back everything. And one of the things that also I was learning from one of the podcasts that I heard is kind of like, go back to your old relationships that you have forgotten, that maybe for ABC reason you haven't reached out. So it was telling, go to your phone, go to your messages that you haven't sent, or friends that you haven't even got in touch for years, and do 4 people every day. so you don't get overwhelmed. And I started to do it, and I was just commenting, Lisa, that I got in touch with some common friends of us and things that go. I was like building that relationship that for ABC
Amen.
reason we haven't done, because life change. I move and things happen, but start to building those relationships back again.
Amen.
And not just don't speak about the business, but just care about the person.
Exactly. And that's one of the things I learned too, Julia, this weekend was that, we prejudge people, right? Like Destiny and I were talking about that. Like we literally say, oh, that person would never do this. I mean, guys, Matthew Hoffman got out of jail and sold stuff. I planted the video down there, you guys. I was I'm sorry, it might not be the best. Like Destiny, I told Destiny, like I was shaking and crying at the same time as Ri-Fi was telling. Guys, you guys heard a snippet of Matthew's testimony last week. This was like 14 minutes of weeping, and I was like, oh God, I gotta stop. I'm not gonna be able to hold it, right? And I sent it to Matthew, and he was so grateful. Guys, you are prejudging people. It's really funny. I know Chris is on today. We have a mutual. I did a three-way phone call for him. I don't even know. Chris, do you remember how long ago we shared with Greg Draper?
It was 2 years ago. Then he signed up almost a year ago to the date.
As a customer.
He signed up as a distributor because I hit Pro 4 in April. And then it was like 2 days or so after that, he started backtracking on us.
Yeah. Well,
so about 2 years ago.
So this is the reason I brought this up is because I spoke to him today. I was in the airport and he called me and he said, hey, I really feel like I'm supposed to do this LifeVantage business. I was like, well, yeah, that's why you signed up. I didn't say that. Chris and I do these little things now where we don't say what we're thinking because we've learned not to say those things, but it allows us to just kind of encourage people. And a lot of people, Dusty can tell you, a lot of people use those verbiages this weekend when they were expressing things that they used to do and now how they do things differently. And that was so powerful. And so he said, hey, look, I bought land. I bought land. That's what he said. I bought land to build a house on, and I really need to do this business. And I said, Greg, everything is about timing, right? I wrote down 45 names this weekend of people that I have prejudged and did not share with. People that are close friends of me and Lisa's, and people that I've introduced to Lisa that I've been out at entrepreneur events. And you know what? I'm going to present to them. I'm going to start presenting to those people. I'm going to start presenting to it's our moral responsibility, knowing what we know now. There is no way you could have listened to Darren Jensen this past weekend. Destiny's shaking her head and seen his presentation and know like what we have in our hands. It's even bigger than we think, right? Because, where Darren was telling some of the elites a couple weeks ago that we're about to get a patent on the 3 pro tandems together, which has never happened in history, right? And you guys see, I made a post today about people who are going to, intravenous glutathione and intravenous NAD because of the coronavirus. I don't even know how to say it because who cares about it? I don't care. More people die every year because of cancer and heart disease than the coronavirus, right? My mom just called me and said that there was 4 cases in Ohio, and they called Ohio a state of emergency now because of four things of coronavirus. Look at my wife's face, right? Like it's just ridiculous. And guys, do you know?
Paranoia grips people.
Guys, do you know 3 keys that they've been talking about is having high sirtuins, high levels of glutathione, and low level of oxidative stress. Does anything sound familiar to you guys about that? Like know anybody that has those 3 things going on? Really? Okay. So does anybody else have a comment or a question, guys? This has been really good so far. I'm super encouraged. Like just the things that Destiny was saying, and I'm going to go back tomorrow and listen to some of the recordings. We're going to have access to those in a couple of days. But does anybody else have a comment or a question? I'm going to go right into this next session. I want to try to make it quick and get done with you guys because I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning.
I have
Hey,
one-
Michael, this is Michael Epstein here.
Hey, Michael,
And
go ahead. Go right ahead, brother.
I'm sorry for cutting
No,
off.
you're
the
good. Go
one
go
thing.
ahead. Go
I
ahead.
just want to say, Life Vantage family thanks you for being such an influencer. And I certainly do as well. It's like this business, it's simple, but it's not easy. And the hard part is the people's misconceptions of what they think they know about this industry.
Yes.
So, make a friend, find their pain, and say, I may have a solution for it. Don't be attached, and keep doing that over and over again. Just like all this stuff is being said, it's the same thing over and over. But
Exactly.
we're selling the ability to create choices. This little guy right there, I have choices to be with him every single day.
Let's see.
There he's saying hi. And say, I love Pro Tandem. So, and my little guys turned 5 months old today.
Wow.
Yeah, and in a couple months I'll be 63. So it's never too late. But we're helping people create choices. That's as simple. People overcomplicate it. Just
Yes.
follow the system of what Michael just talked about, and do that over and over and over again. Don't be attached to what people say. Everybody has their different high noon.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
And it's just like everywhere you go, and I always say this, you may be in Life Vantage, but when Life Vantage is in you, that's when you'll think about it all the time, and you'll create conversations with people. And here's a great analogy, if I may, Michael.
No, go ahead.
I'm not a chess player, but think of being in a chess game, and when you're always a chess player thinks 2 or 3 moves ahead all the time. So you're asking people questions, but think of 2 or 3 moves ahead that you're leading them, and how to answer that question that leads them to saying, I want to find out some information more about what you're talking about. I need to know what you've got going on.
Yep.
And it almost works every single time. Become a master of how to predict conversation through questions that you answer. And I'll leave it with that.
That's good, brother. That's very good, Michael. I'll let Destiny say something. Then I'm gonna go writing because I have 20 minutes to get my presentation done, and I want you guys. I want you guys.
Love you,
to
my
see
brother.
This. Hey, and Michael, I just wanted to say this too. I didn't know if you knew this, but I'm teaching Life Vantage Academy in Bethesda, and I know you have a lot of your team there, so I'm teaching.
Oh I have the biggest team there.
Yeah,
Good luck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell them all to love on you. Amy Homewood and Margie Steiner.
Yeah.
My new Pro 10,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So,
congratulations.
Hey, God bless to all of you guys. And I'm always available for anybody on Michael's team to help at any time. Just know that I'm here for you. So
we love you, man. We love you. Destiny,
love you too.
So you want to say something?
Say bye, Mateo.
Bye, Mateo.
Yeah, Michael said something that kind of made me recall something I learned before. The goal or the objective of our conversations isn't to get them to sign up. The goal is to get them to the next step, get them to ask the questions, to lead them so they can make the right decisions for them at that moment.
And if you don't ask them,
right,
they're not going to join.
No,
right. And that's not.
That's not our objective for the conversation.
Right, of course. But unless it's a presentation and you're into the second or third follow up, or you're into the even, or even if you've done a tear-off sheet with them. Mm-hmm. Wendy said this to me. She says, Michael, we should have asked those people to join when you were here. And I said, you're right. We should have. And that's the thing that bothers us more. Before I go in, you got one more minute.
Real quick. Okay, I just want to thank Michael because, I've heard people say that the recognition part of our LVAs and stuff like that and Elite Academies is what really, makes it real for them. Let me tell you something. I didn't think I was going to get a recognition thing at all because I came in a Pro 1, and I haven't I haven't ranked advanced, obviously, but Michael put in, for me to get recognized for being Pro 1, and so basically I got to go on stage and walk across that stage, and I got this. Can you show me again?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, so this is my certificate that all of the elites have signed, recognizing me for being Pro 1. And there is nothing more real than being able to walk across that stage yourself. And
Awesome.
I can't wait. I can't wait to do it again.
You can do it again.
So,
You can do it again
yeah.
in June for sure.
Oh yeah. So thank you,
100%.
Michael, for that.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So guys, let me go into this. I was given a new topic this time for building depth, and here's what my topic was. Which I think that even as a Pro 9 or Pro 10 or Pro 7, whatever level you are at, you go through this journey right here that I'm about to share with you guys. It's called Overcoming Obstacles. And then here's what I shared. I shared this: the obstacles of fear and limiting beliefs. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see these pictures, but I mean, just think about what this looks like, guys. I mean, just think about it. Fear is a liar. You see the person on the left is limiting beliefs. That's us. That's me. Lisa can say that's her too. And then this is the person that's free of those limiting beliefs. Now look at this. The double your rate of failure, you're thinking of failure as an enemy of success, but as it isn't. Guy, Mr. Watson, the founder of IBM, he also said failure is the raw material required to produce success. Don't worry. Here, guys, ask yourself this question. Ask yourself this question. Is your fear of failure greater than your desire to succeed? I said to myself, is it greater than your desire to succeed at your why? At obtaining your why? Okay, and then ask yourself this. Is the fear of rejection holding you back? Is the fear of what other people think about you holding you back? Is the fear of not being successful holding you back? What is holding you back? And I've shared this before, but I wanted to share it again. The fear of rejection at your funeral, statistics show that there'll be an average of 10 people crying, of whom only 5 will attend the burial if it's raining. Lisa can tell you, one of her aunts died not too long ago and it was raining. And half the people showed up and there was a tent, right? So this is true, okay? And so guess what the end of this says by Jeff Olson? Do you really care what everyone else thinks? No, we don't, right? And so listen to this. Listen to what James Altucher said. Rejection and the fear of rejection is the biggest impediment we face to choosing ourselves. Guys, get that in your... Yes, that's what I was about to say. This is what Julia... Get this in your spirit, guys. Get this in your spirit, okay? You guys are all going to hear these questions, but here's the problem that you do. You stop when people tell you this. You don't use, I don't know about that. Like how many of you know, I mean, even though Julia works from home, right? Most of our jobs are a pyramid scheme. We're not going to be the CEO of the company, right? We're not going to, we're not going to be on television tomorrow, right? If we have a job. It's just for most of us, that doesn't happen. 1% of the people, right? And you hear this all the time. Hi, Sherry. It says, sorry, but I'm not interested. Most of you stop right there when people say that. Lisa says, hey, I know you're not interested, but can I practice on you, right? I need some practice, right? Guys, how many people do you know that Lisa has signed up in the last year by just practicing on them, right? I think she actually, even though Julia knew she was not really practicing, she practiced on her too, with a tear-off sheet. And Julia's like, well, why didn't you do that with me? I think she said, why didn't you do that with me a long time ago, right? And because it's simple and easy, right? It's something that you can do that's easy. Guys, no one ever makes money at that. Guys, yes, they do. You sign up one customer, guess what? You made money. Julia just signed up a customer right before, not too long, right before she left. Like I think the week before, right, Julia? The week before you left to go on your trip? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And guys, that's just because she sat down with the person and did the presentation. Now that I was sharing with some of the people in Utah, the next biggest thing is to go back and start following up with people. Right? You're doing one of those things. Marcel said if he had a dime for every person that said to him, you're doing that, and then how many of you have heard people say, I'm not a salesman? And you know what I say to them? Neither am I. This is not network sales. This is network marketing, right? Oh, 3 customers. See that? Julia got 3 customers. I didn't even know that. Heck, that's really good. Did you know that? Honey? Did you know Julia got 3 customers? Yeah. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. I met a lady from Colombia in the airport today that sounded just like Julia. Reminded me of you. Reminded me of how much I missed you. Okay, so let's talk about resolving concerns. Listen to this, guys. Objections are questions to test your belief or conviction. Let me tell you something. You know what's holding a lot of you back right now is distractions and organization. You don't have a calendar. You're not organizing what you're doing. You're not giving yourself the time where you can make that important thing for you to put that in your schedule. Look at this. The root of 99% of all concerns and objection is whether it works and will it work for them. Okay? I was in Las Vegas last night with Dr. Carol, one of Lisa and I's mentors, and a good friend of Julia's too. She said to tell you hi, by the way. And she said to me, she says, Michael, I'm going to put you in front of a lot of entrepreneurs. I said, great. And I met one, and he was a millionaire, and he said, I told him what I do, and he said, man, when are we going to sit down and talk about that? I made it really brief and easy, guys, and that's what you can do. Okay, that's what you can do. You don't, as Michael said, you don't have to make this hard. Okay, use this right here. Use feel, felt, found. Let me give you a quick example. Julie White put me on the phone with a lady who'd been a customer for the long time. And I said to her, what are your 3 issues? And she told me, and I used the feel, felt, found with every single one of them. And when we were done, she upgraded to a distributor and had been a customer for 5 years. Okay. And she said to Julie, I can do what Mike did. And Julie said, well, what do you mean? And she said, he answered every one of my questions, not acting like he knew the answer, but giving me the truth, right? And not trying to be over-exaggerated guys, so many people over-exaggerate things and you don't have to, right? So look at this. I love this one. It says, most people feel that way, right? The last lady I enrolled actually told me she felt that way before she started her LifeVantage business. You know, hey, MLM's not for me. I know, Destiny, you can tell you can shake your head to this. How many people did you see on stage that said network marketing was not for them, right? Shari can tell you that. Probably half of the people that were on stage said, well, just how many of you on this call today at one time or another said network marketing was not for you? Like, Destiny, how many people said that were on stage speaking? Would you say about 90% of the people? I'll unmute you. Hold on.
At least.
Yeah, right?
Yep.
I mean, and even like Dr. Mike, you know, how he sold his practice so he could go full-time into network marketing. And he knew what he was looking for. And he said that LifeVantage was his dream opportunity. Okay? Sales scripts. Look at these. These are resolving concern scripts. Sherry and I were talking about these this weekend. I don't know. All that I know is then insert your story. When somebody says, isn't that, illegal or whatever? Anytime somebody says this is your greatest comeback right here. I don't know about that. All I know is insert your story. It's simple and easy. Okay. So let me get into this really quick here. I have 12 minutes. I'm doing good. Okay. So 10 self-limiting beliefs. Okay. Listen to this. I'm too old. Okay. How many of you have said that once? Anybody ever said that I'm too old to do this business, or I'm not smart enough to do this business? I'm not educated enough to do this business. I'm afraid of doing this business. You have to have money to do this business. How many people did you see stand on stage this weekend that sold stuff to come, that sold stuff to get involved, that were rank advancing Pro 4s and Pro 5s, right? Had to get a hat this weekend, right? Destiny had to get the hat. Destiny got lots of swag this weekend. I saw her over at that table too often, I think. She says, and then he says, I don't have the willpower, right? And all the good businesses are taken, right? How many of you hear that? Okay, so let's go into these real quick. 5 steps to help you overcome your limiting beliefs and live your most powerful life. Okay. Number one. Okay. Number one. I love look what Brian Tracy said, guys. Guys, remember when Brian Tracy spoke in Long Beach? Okay. You begin to fly when you let go of self-limiting beliefs. Okay. And allow your mind and aspirations to rise to greater heights. To overcome your limiting beliefs, guys, think about this. You have to first, the limiting belief, you first need to shine a spotlight on them, on yourself, like these lights are on me, right? Most of your limiting beliefs were relatively easy to identify. Maybe it's a spouse telling you, they're not interested in you doing this. And Dessa can tell you this, there's so many spouses. Jason Kokinzi, who is on our FAB, his wife made Pro 7, and then he decided to do the business, and now they have a Pro 7 and a Pro 8 position. So do you ever give up on your spouse? No, you don't. Listen to this. They really should be. These are the types of beliefs you regularly beat yourself up about. I will never succeed. I'm ugly. I'm not good at this. I'm not. But once you have your limiting beliefs identified, write them down, guys. Trust me, do this. Write them down. I did it on the airplane. There is something about seeing our problems in a tangible way that empowers us to respond differently, right? In some cases, they begin to immediately lose their effectiveness and their power over us. Guys, this is powerful stuff, okay? All you have to do is remember that these limiting beliefs are lies. Okay, number 2, all right? Number 2, have the ability to view your limiting beliefs, right? Or view our limits, right? So having the ability to view our limits helps us kind of advance to that next step, all right? Then we acknowledge, and that's the next step is acknowledging them, right? And so in this phase right here, we don't just see our limiting beliefs and kind of the black and white. That's why I put it in black and white. We acknowledge them for what they are, the harm they've done, and then this is great, and then admit that we have taken part in their creation. It can be passed down, guys. You pass these down to your kids. You pass them to your spouse. Lisa and I've talked about this. Guys, 90% of people never acknowledge them, okay? It's almost as if you can have a dialogue with them, right? It's almost as if you can have a dialogue with them. Julia says, and then most important words are not that you put after I am. We need to change thoughts about ourselves. Exactly. Listen to this. Okay. It's almost as if we have, as I said, we have a dialogue with them, but by doing so, we open the lines of communication. Guys, think about this. This step helps us understand our limiting beliefs better. This is so good. This step helps us understand our limiting beliefs better, allowing us a clear path to moving forward beyond it. This is so good. It says, it is also a especially critical step because acknowledging our responsibility, we empower ourselves to change. Listen to this. No one ever gains victory over problems without taking responsibility for having them or for doing the work to resolve them. Guys, this is so good. Guys, I had people coming up to me after this presentation crying and saying, it's literally changed their life. It'll change your life if you let it. Okay. Number 3, confront the beliefs. Okay. We're doing good. We're almost done. We got 7 minutes. Confront it. Conquer our limiting beliefs by confronting them. The reason they grow so troublesome for us in the first place is simply that they go unchallenged. We just put them on the shelf. We don't face them. We often assume them without question. Lies become truth. I did this for years. Rather than deal with the struggle of the confrontation, we develop almost like a codependency relationship with them. We guard our limiting beliefs. We justify them as if they are ever questioned. We never even question them. They just become part of our life, part of our countenance. It's what a narcissist does, to be honest with you. I know that's deep, but it is. If this is a difficult process for you, don't do it by yourself. Get an accountability partner. I said this the other day. An accountability partner holds you accountable for your abilities. A lot of you started off having one and you went right back to these limiting beliefs and right back to this fear and right back to this doubt and right back to everything that's holding you back. I'm raising my hand. I'm guilty. You know why I taught this? Not just because Dan asked me to, because I wanted to do a self-examination of myself. Okay? And I said this again at the bottom. Look at this. If this is a difficult, I said, hold yourself accountable. Get a friend, get an accountability partner. Accountability partner is someone who holds you accountable for your actual God-given abilities, not the lies of your limiting beliefs. Number 4, I wrote a list of opinions over here. Okay. Bringing up children is my responsibility only. Working late nights is unsafe. Some jobs are not for me. I'm not good. With your written list, and I'd love for you guys to send me a written list if you would. That'd be great. I'd love to pray for you guys and help you. Work through as many reasons to call these lies as you can, right? So think about this. With your written list, work through them, okay? Every day, write them out. Present your arguments, guys. This doesn't have to be a quick process. You heard Julia say that. Take as much time as necessary to make your case, especially with the help of another person. Talk about it. My friend Tim and I are talking about it consistently now. Number 4, I'm bringing it home. We're doing great. Okay. To move forward. To move forward effectively, you cannot just drop your limiting beliefs and get back to life as usual. In order to reach your most powerful life, you've got to replace the old limiting beliefs with the new empowering ones. If one of your limiting beliefs was, I don't deserve success because of XYZ, you need to replace it with, I do deserve success because of ABC. And then list out your reasons why. Speak it, manifest it, and take control of it. Replace the lies with the truth. Okay? Do the uncomfortable. Become uncomfortable. Sky's the limits. Okay? Sky's the limits. It's such a simple step, but so many neglect it. Look at what Darren Rowe said. Do the uncomfortable. Become uncomfortable with these acts. Prove to yourself that your limiting beliefs die a quick death if you will simply do what you feel comfortable doing. Okay? He said on this list that you've created, that you did earlier, or on a new piece of paper, if you run out of room, said write out your empowering and replacement beliefs. Okay? One side of the paper, write your limiting beliefs, other side, replace it with the truth. Keep going until each one is now optimized with the belief that removes the old limiting beliefs with now your new empowerment beliefs. Okay? Number 5, last one. Use your new beliefs to find success. You've got just one more step to go, and that is to implement your new beliefs. Put your full faith in them as if they will succeed, because they will. Okay? It's really simple. Use your fresh new enthusiasm, your empowering words to push you through these areas to succeed where you before saw limitations. And you do this every single day. That's why I keep a calendar and put notes in my calendar. Listen to this. Do this every day, even when the lies come back. Continue to replace them with the truth. You will not fail, because when you truly believe we are capable of success, that is what we achieve. You heard Destiny say it. Okay? Be encouraged. Every new success you will have will only strengthen your beliefs. Congratulations, you are now on your way to living your most powerful life. So here's what I want to finish. Okay? I want you guys to say this with me. You don't have to unmute yourself, but if you're watching, please just say this with me. I am courageous. I am wonderfully made. I am successful. I am good. I belong here. I'm fully alive. I am valuable. I am loved. I am not too old. I am who God says I am. I believe in who God called me to be. And you'll succeed. Guys, you have to believe this. Trust me. You have to believe. These are things that allow you to see yourself, okay? To see yourself the way God sees you. And that's the thing that I think more now than ever as we go through this phase of getting rid of fear, because you guys know that, fear's a liar, right? False evidence appearing real. Okay. All right. I did good. Right at 9:30. Does anybody have like a question or a comment? Anybody? We can finish. I thought it was pretty good. Hopefully it was empowering to you guys.
Can I get the slides?
Yeah, you can. It's I put them in the Building Depth Facebook group page, but
Okay.
if you just send me an email or a text message on Facebook, I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool. Thanks, man.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Hopefully that was encouraging to you. It's super. I'm so glad that I did it today because it was super encouraged me again to just go through these phases. I worked on some of it. I'm going to work on some of it this week. And so I just wanted to thank you guys. I'm going to stop the recording.